Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Many a True Nerd, and welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3. Well, last time, we kicked off our adventure with Arya the Chaos Bard, con artist, and a master acrobat, and... no, seriously, I'm so bloody happy that I decided to take the Inner Hand Sleep ability. That thing's bloody brilliant. And today, right, I couldn't but notice that, yes, during the crash landing of the Nautiloid, we became separated from some of our team. So, step one today, get the gang back together. We've got to track down Lae'zel, and much more importantly, dear sweet beloved Brian the Brain. Still, let's focus on the positives here, because it would rather appear that, yes, while crashing, the Nautiloid crushed a very large number of fishermen, meaning this beach is covered in corpses. And that's great, because when you think about it, a corpse is basically someone you can loot that you don't need to bother killing, because it's been pre-killed for you. It's like fast food for adventurers. Like right there, 5 gold available for free, though gonna be a tiny bit concerned that, yes, there's a dead insect devourer here. It's got 27 hit points, or rather it did. That's the number of hit points Brian had, so... I really hope Brian's okay, by the way. I'm gonna be really sad if Brian's dead. Also, seriously, I just need to get into the habit of holding down left alt, like, all the time, because apparently there's a pouch over here. I would never have seen that in a million years. And a backpack too. Not a chance I would have noticed that. That right there is a potion I 100% would have just walked past. Oh, but this is just meant to be. Inside the backpack, there's a wizard hat with a tiny embroidered rabbit inside the lining. The rabbit's name is Snowball, and once he was lost, never to be found. So, I've literally got a wizard hat out of, like, the second container I checked in the game. This is marvellous. Oh, look at that. That is beautiful. Though, admittedly, yes, we have had to, like, cut some holes in it to let my horns through. It's even got a dumb dangly bit on the back. Oh, this is marvellously good news. And right, it's not just money, there's also food floating around, which is, yes, camp supplies. So, okay, we'll get on to, yes, camping and food and whatnot in a second, though. Let's just take all of that. That's going to be rather useful, together with, John, they're fishermen. Obviously, there's going to be fish around, yes. Not just fish, though. There's also, yeah, a perfumed letter on one of these guys. Dear Sai, I love you. There, I said it. If you meet me tomorrow, I'll say it again. And again, and keep on saying it to Older Grey. So let's do it. Let's go to Baldur's Gate. I know it's risky, but so's staying here. The last few months have been hard, but they're always easier when you're there. Leave your boat and meet me at the hill overlooking the old bridge. Bring what you can. We'll make a do without the rest. Don't be late. Love, Anna. Right, if we see an old bridge with a hill nearby, maybe see if we can find someone called Anna, because she might like to know that unfortunately Sai's not coming. Okay, far end of the beach though, yeah. It's not just random corpses and whatnot, there is also an ancient sigil circle, so... oh, that's the fast travel system, isn't it? So yes, now I can just go into the map and come back here anytime I want to. Lovely. And also, a door, though. That looks very locked. So, right. If I had thieves' tools, I might be able to get in. But that is not something I've got available right now. And unfortunately, yeah, with the cliffs to one side, the ocean the other, and that door locked up, looks to me like the only way we can actually go at this point is into the actual wreckage of the Nautiloid. And, right. While some creatures died in the crash, not all of them. There might still be monsters inside this thing. Luckily, you've been a bit wounded, haven't you? You didn't make it out of the crash without a scratch. In fact, yeah, specifically they've got the feature weakened. So, okay. These guys probably aren't as tough as they look, which is good, because Brian was an absolute beast. Well, I tell you what, we've got some new exciting sexy spells to try out. So, if these guys are a bit on the flimsy side... let's use this as a fun little testing ground. So step 1, let's get the team crouching. Because, yeah, we might be able to sneak up on these guys a bit. Oh, yeah. Where they're looking is the reds. So if I just get behind them to the left there, I should be able to sneak up right behind you, buddy. So, in we go. And once we get nice and close by, I'm going to go into turn-based mode. Because, yeah, in this game, it's not just a case of fights and turn-based, everything else in real time. You could go into turn-based at any time you want to. Which could be useful because, yeah, that means time is now frozen until I click End Turn. And better, because I'm hidden, that means I get to roll with advantage. So, 99% chance to hit. Yeah, you know what? I'll take that. Just to go in, stab you, beautiful. Though, okay, there was another one at the back I wasn't entirely expecting, as it turns out. So, okay, let's take these ones out nice and quick. Now, Shadowheart, you have the ridiculously powerful Inflict Wound spell. Between 3 and 30 damage. That is nonsense. But, it's because it's a melee. That's why it's so strong. Right, so you just walk it over here and hit this guy with that. Because, yeah, that should mean there's a really good chance he just goes down instantly. So, in you go. 70 damage. He gets turned into, like, I don't know. I think possibly you just petrified him or something. And then, yeah, just start making your way towards the high ground. Getting up high would be a good way of getting ourselves some more advantages. As for Arya, she officially used her action as starting the fight, so, right. She's now only got a bonus action. Luckily, my sword gives me a bonus action in the form of Flourish. Not much damage, but yeah, every little helps, and it can also potentially throw my opponent off balance so they're weaker going forward. So, just getting over there. So, right. Only 1 damage, but we did get the bonus effect. So going forward, all attacks against this guy have got advantage. Good. The problem is, now these guys get to actually start doing something. So, right, you're just rushing in because you're a long way away right now. And you, sir, are attacking Arya. Well, that's bloody rude. It turns out, yes, much like Brian, they hit pretty bloody hard, actually. Still, bare minimum, this guy should be, yeah, nice and easy to take out, and now we've knocked him off balance. So, just to give him a nice whack with your beautiful mace, lovely. And then you can use your bonus action to, yes, give yourself a little bit of a buff, given that other guy's also coming in too. So, right, armor class up by 2, that will make you even harder to hit. There we go. Beautiful. So, right, you can just run forward when this guy's dead to deal with this loser. So, like I was saying, let's crack out the new toys here. So, yeah, Chromatic Orb does a bunch of damage, and I can choose what element it is, and that determines, yes, what, like, surface it leaves behind, like poison, ice, etc., etc. Thunder doesn't leave a surface, but does the most damage, so, you know what? I reckon that's the option right there. And officially I'm too nearby to the target, so yes, I'm rolling with disadvantage, but he is just so weakened, it kind of doesn't matter. This is fine. So just get it over there, and down you go. So right, he's dead. There's only this one left on the field. So as a result of that, I'd say probably best we start making a run towards the high ground here. Because yeah, once again, that's going to be very bloody useful. Now, as I've got a bonus action spare, use that to further buff Shadowheart, just to make sure she's okay, going hand-to-hand with that thing. Plus, I just enjoy standing back and using music to help my friends. That's delightful. So, there you go, Shadowheart. You're welcome. Okay, the brain is up next. He goes for Shadowheart and, amazingly, manages to hit her, so you just got lucky there, buddy. So, okay, I think I see a pretty easy path to victory here. Shadowheart, you just run forward and boop this guy with your mace. Beautiful. And then Arya, the finishing blow is up to you. So yeah, just get right up to the high ground here. And then yeah, now this guy's down to just 9 hit points. With a high ground advantage, a second Thunder Chroma Orb McGibble should do the job very nicely. And, oh buddy, I think you are in a lot of cocking trouble, though I will say, despite the fact, yeah, we just used multiple big spells and also got a sneak attack beginning the fight with an ambush, we took some fair knocks in that fight. Yeah, tactician difficulty is not messing about. Still, let's discuss what we might want to do about that, because sure, I've got potions, but yes, they're in limited supply, and really we should be saving those for emergencies, like healing during a fight. Outside of a fight, we want to be utilising the rest system. So, yeah, what I could do is take a short rest. I've got 2 of those in a hand right now, which basically restores 50% of my health. So, yeah, we should definitely do one of those immediately. And on top of that, you may notice, yes, certain abilities come back off cooldown from doing that too, like that flourish thing we did down below. Spell slots, however, do not. They're much more limited. So yeah, if we want to get those back, we need to end the day by going to camp and spending supplies to, like, you know, have a nice dinner, etc, etc. But I don't think we need to worry about that just for now. And I'm going to be honest, I kind of brought the camera over here, because I was about to say, it sure is lucky there's all these fishermen here, giving us all these delicious fish. Then I noticed there was a chest up here as well, so... Okay! I just accidentally stumbled across the secrets. Now, it is admittedly, yes, fairly high up and whatnot, so, I mean, it sure would be bloody nice if, oh, I don't know, say, someone in the team had the ability to jump huge distances or something. So, just to power up my jumping ability, and from there, we can just jump straight over to this point. Beautiful. Straight up to the top 2. You'll never convince me this was a bad idea. This was the best idea ever. And okay, that gets me 1 caustic bulb, which is like an acid grenade. So yeah, may as well keep those in mind for later. 1 potion of fire resistance. So right, if anyone starts breathing a fire, try and remember I've got that. And 1 ring, which is not like, you know, an enchanted ring or anything. But still, it's better than nothing. Oh, something to keep in mind, by the way. It turns out that while that spell massively boosts my jumping power, it doesn't actually do anything about full damage. So, oh, I am 100% going to accidentally kill myself with that jumping spell, aren't I? And also, I didn't actually need the jumping spell, because it turns out Shadowheart, without it, could just hop up and down too, so... Okay, I still believe in the jumping spell. The jumping spell's amazing. Okay, I know it's not enchanted or anything, but I'm putting on that ring, because I'd rather have these equipment slots filled than not, and... I was about to say, maybe it's time for me to get, like, you know, a bit better armed, or armoured or whatnot. And just remember, we gave all the weapons and armour to Lae'zel, who's now gone missing, and taken, like, all the weapons and armour with her, so... I may have made a small tactical mistake there. Especially given I do not care for this armour that Bards are stuck with. Like, I do not like that at all, though. Speaking of which, yeah, I know one thing you can do is set armour visibility. So, if I don't want to be, like, wearing this particular armour, I could be wearing whatever it is I'm wearing back at camp, underneath the armour, so... That's not great either, to be honest. Shadowheart, what are you wearing? So, okay, she's got, like, a medium armor here, which I couldn't wear, so don't worry about that. But underneath that, she's wearing... Okay, that's kind of snazzy. Okay, I'm just having that, actually, so we just change that over. You can have your armor back on, that's fine. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I think that kind of works for me. Like, I think that suits me quite nicely. I also like to assume, by the way, that yes, because I've got a tail, I've immediately just taken a knife and cut a hole out of the back of the pants so my tail can fit through, and Shadowheart is going to be furious when she finds out. But okay, back inside, yes, the ship here. There's more up here too, right. So it turns out being good at jumping is actually, potentially, pretty important. Because basic poison, not bad at all. Yeah, there's loads of stuff up on high ledges, so keep the camera nice and zoomed out. We might be able to spot some good stuff I can have. Together with a potion of speed, so, oh! Gain an extra action, together with bonuses to armor class and many other things for 3 turns. Right, well that's pretty bloody good. Remember, that's there if I get into trouble. Right, keep on keeping on. Like I was saying, we need to go and find ourselves some new party members, or failing that, some more money, loot, etc, etc. And this will do as a starting point. Thieves' tools. So, open locks based on sleight of hand check. I've got sleight of hand, dexterity +2 and sleight of hand proficiency for +4, because yeah, that comes from my background as a charlatan. So right, keep hold of them, they might be useful for me potentially. Right, keep on keeping on up the road, and, hello, sexy. Okay. You're not Lae'zel. We may have to do, though, hang on. Before we get to you, my friend... There's something going on down here, and yes. Now I know what we're doing in this game. You jump. You look for little paths up or down, and you jump all the time to cross them. So, okay, just deal with this. Go over to here. Jump over the water, though. Okay, it turns out you don't need to jump over the water. You could have just walked, but...
Deep grooves in the mud around that rock.
Okay. That was a perception check. So, right. Can't be added to infantry. Can't throw. Too heavy. Give it a push. Too heavy to shove. John! You have strength of 8. This is blatantly a job for, well, possibly not Shadowheart. She's got, like, 13. Can't throw too heavy. Oh, hang on. Are you just, like, select it and then move it and... Oh! Not much, but... Hello, Saxy! Harper's notebook, rubies, Harper's map, 2 more potions of speed. Alright, and now we're cocky getting somewhere. So right, just to read this nice and quick. A stained ragged map that's passed through countless hands. A small heart marks an area called Moonrise Towers, with a small inky crescent sketched in a nearby forest. Below the crescent is a more recent scrawl, Cache. So okay, look for Moonrise Towers, then in a forest nearby, there's a cache. So, okay, we are treasure hunting. Possibly this book can, you know, shed a bit more light on that. Tight collection of reports held together with a moon and a heart seal. Frequent mentions of sacrilegious activity among a local Selunite sect. Moon and a heart would be a crescent. So, right, this is something to do with, like, a religious sect that's operating nearby. Well, okay, there's money and gems floating around, so you just leave that alone. John, money and gems, they're for you. So just take all of that, and then, yeah. Keep an eye out for crescent shapes. They might indicate, yeah, some sort of, like, cult. And maybe the treasure they're guarding. So, back up top. We can now go and meet, yes, potentially our new party member and whatnot.
Hurry! I've got one of those brain things cornered. There, in the grass. You can kill it, can't you? Like you killed the others?
Okay. Stand back, kill it yourself, you look capable enough. I'm gonna say we can, but yes, I swear I remember during early access, there's a trick here.
There. Can you see it?
Just a dumb boar. You're relieved. Until you see the flash of a dagger.
Okay, so there was a boar there. And yes, I think last time I did this in early access, he got me down on the ground. So this time, mysteriously, I've been more perceptive and spotted him before he could ambush me. So, yeah, this could go in various different ways. And yeah, if this is a robbery, you're off to a very bad start, my friends.
I just need information. I saw you scuttling about on the ship. You're in league with them, aren't you? Those tentacle... Ah!
Your mind twists. You're looking out of unfamiliar eyes, prowling dark, busy streets. You try to hold the memory, but it fades to the worm. The light. The fear.
What was that? What's going on?
Okay, so, brain parasites, psychic network, not fully done yet, but matter of days we turn into monsters. Possibly brains pop out of our heads, possibly we turn into tentacle monsters. I'm a bit unclear as to, yes, what precisely our brain parasite's gonna do, but neither option seems good.
The worm. Of course. That explains things, somewhat. And to think, I was ready to decorate the ground with your innards. Apologies.
And you know what? I'm gonna be honest, I'm not necessarily a nice person. Potentially I'd have done the same thing were the roles reversed.
A kindred spirit. My name's Astarion. I was in Baldur's Gate when those beasts snatched me.
And alright, I can claim I am too. which I'm not sure is true, because I was already on the ship getting a brainwormed when the ship arrived in Baldur's Gate to do that big pickup of various captives, so yeah, so I'm not 100% sure that's true. I'm just going to tell him my story. I'm a Chaos Bard, there's a good chance I'm going to accidentally explode you by mistake at some point, etc, etc.
My, you've been busy. So, did you learn anything about these worms while wandering the ship?
Yes, as I was saying, mind flayers.
Turn us into... Of course it'll turn me into a monster. What else did I expect? Although, it hasn't happened yet. If we can find an expert, someone that can control these things, there might still be time.
You know what? That is an interesting suggestion. Previously we've been talking about getting it out or finding a doctor, someone who could control them, given it's part of a psychic network. That's of interest too, so that is an interesting alternative. Anyway, would you like to come along, my friends?
You know, I was ready to go this alone, but maybe sticking with the herd isn't such a bad idea. And anyone that can crash a mind flayer ship and walk away seems like a good person to know. All right, I accept. Lead on.
So there we go, we've got ourselves an Astarion, beautiful. Oh, and better, that boar was not just part of the cutscene, it's still there, so hang on. I have got the ability speak with animals, and yes, like my jumping spell, that's a ritual. So if I'm not in combat, I can cast that without having to worry about, like, you know, using up spell slots. So just activate that and... Why have I got my drum out? That's such a weird thing to do, but okay, I'm doing a drum magic apparently. There we go. Now I can speak with animals, meaning... Okay, Mr. Boar, me and you are going to have a lovely chat, because maybe you've got secrets you can impart to me. And if not, I can just turn you into bacon.
Away! Away!
Okay, so the boar isn't particularly happy with me. Calm down. I promise I won't hurt you. Okay, I'm not going to say I promise, because that's not necessarily true. I'm going to say I won't hurt you. No guarantees.
You're all the same. Too many of my kind died because of your spears, but not me!
Okay, now I feel bad that I did say I was planning to turn him into bacon. Okay, so this guy is a rogue, all about sneaking, and his primary stat is dexterity. He's still got, like, you know, something in intelligence and wisdom, but he's presumably not actually a spellcaster. But that's fine, because 1, that helps him with skill checks, and 2, there are defensive uses for intelligence and especially wisdom. Like loads of spells, if you've got decent wisdom, you can just shrug off some of their effects. And blimey, looking at the skills, yeah. He's not just got proficiency, he's got expertise in stealth and sleight of hand. So he is very good at sneaking, lockpicking, stealing, etc, etc. And crucially right, so the big thing you bring to the table is sneak attacks. So if you can attack someone without them realising it, you could potentially do up to 13 damage. And that could be with a knife or a bow. In fact, actually, it's not even unaware targets. It's anybody who you've got advantage against, and there's loads of ways you can create advantage against an enemy. So, yeah. If you could just get up to the high ground, say, you could rain down sneak attacks on your enemy. Including in the event that, yes, there's like an ally standing near the enemy to distract them so you could get the sneak attack in. So, right. That's your deal. We want you to get up high and rain down sneak attacks. And also, crucially, I think I like you in casual gear. That's fine. Let's level you up as well, because you start at level 1. So let's get you up to level 2, same as everyone else, because that's just a huge amount more health right there. And that's got you, yeah, a whole bunch of stuff you can do with your bonus action. Which is interesting, because, yeah, I found previously, there are instances where I've just got nothing to do with my bonus action. So if he could do more stuff with his bonus action, brilliant. So yeah, you can disengage from enemies so you don't take opportunity attacks when you're moving away from them. That's good. dash on bonus is really good, actually, because then he can cover like twice the usual distance and still do an attack at the end of it. And hide from enemies if he can pass a stealth check. And that would suggest in a perfect world, he would prefer to be in, dark underground locations, where it's easier for him to hide. Beyond that, he doesn't get anything else, because, yes, spellcasters, when they level up, it could be very complicated. This guy, relatively simple. So right, that's him all ready to go. I think, that's the team ready to proceed, though actually, you know what, friend? You are like, a melee user armed with a dagger right now. Do we have a spare short sword? Oh, we 100% do. And that should just mean more damage, right? Yes, a short sword does the same thing, and just slightly better, so that just gets his melee sneak attack up to 5 to 15. And on top of that, he comes with his own bow, which he can use because he's an elf. So, right, that's useful, because that gives him the ability hamstring shot. So, okay. 49 damage, and also, he can reduce movement speed. So, okay. He's got a whole bunch of abilities. Test those out once we get into combat. Oh, and I only just noticed, yes, this will be his pod, which he was presumably still inside during the whole business on the Nautiloid. Then it just sort of fell out while the ship was collapsing and ultimately crashed over there. So, okay, that makes a lot of sense. So, yeah, just keep on keeping on. Around the corner here, I think that's all there is up in this direction.
A mind flayer, and it's hurt.
And hello, sexy. We've got a living mind flayer.
You approach the dying monster. This is the thing that abducted you. You could end its life here and now, if only you didn't feel compassion. Compassion?
Okay, so it's doing psychic things. It's identified I'm kind of part of the psychic network, but presumably, given my tadpole's not done growing yet, not properly. He can't, like, fully control me, but he's still trying. So, no, I should probably be angry at you. You, like, kidnapped me and put a tadpole in my head.
Yes, you feel hate, and you deserve to be punished for it. You should be whipped, made to bow before this creature in shame. It's possessing your mind, forcing you to love it, but then the feeling slips. The creature's mind seems to focus elsewhere.
So okay, he's weak right now. If he was stronger, there'd be no way I could resist. Possibly when we run into these guys later, we need some sort of, like, defense against psychic damage or something. Probably that would be sensible, yes. So, okay. Utilize my intelligence, see if we can, like, break free or whatnot. And for the first time, right, we've got optional bonuses that we could choose to toss in or not. So I need to roll a 10. I've got +1 off intelligence, but one of Shadowheart's best abilities, she comes with guidance as one of her cantrips. So she can just toss a d4 onto any check, so it could be anything between 1 and 4. Bit unreliable, but whatever. And there's Tides of Chaos. So I could use that to, just give myself advantage. And there we go, there's 2 dice. That feels overkill, because once I've done it, I can't use it again until I have, I think, a short rest. So yeah, hold that for now. Just toss in the guidance. That should be good enough. But before I roll, yes, there's 2 things I want to say about the dice in this game. Which is, 1, during this playthrough, I'm going to be trusting the dice. To quote Larian, the devs who actually made this game, because they suggested after it came out that yes, the best way to enjoy this game is to not be determined to pass every single check. Sometimes you're gonna fail a check, because even if you're relatively well set up, there's still a decent chance you could fail. So we are not going to be save scumming to pass every check of the game or anything. On the contrary, I'm going to be saying, you know what, it's the will of the dice I didn't pass that, let's try and come up with a plan B. Because sometimes that plan B is going to lead you in an even more interesting direction. And on top of that, speaking of, yes, the dice in particular, in this game, there's a system called karmic dice, which basically just means the dice isn't actually random. If you get a series of very unlucky rolls, the game will give you some good rolls. If you get too many good rolls, you might get a few bad ones, so it all balances out a bit. I've decided to play without that on, so my dice rolls are truly 100% random. So yes, those are like the unofficial dice rules I'm going to be playing by during this playthrough. Speaking of which, just roll the dice here, and did not even need all those bonuses, we are fine.
Your minds fuse, lusting for something that is gone. But then its grip claws back with a vengeance, a vice locking your mind into obedience. It needs sustenance to survive, and with your very body, you can provide.
Okay, so submit to it, give it a snog, use my wisdom, or use my wild magic and charisma. Now that's got to be way, way better because, yeah, charisma, apparently I would have advantage. I don't know why I'd have advantage on charisma. Maybe because, oh, it's because I've got two things here, wild magic and charisma. So yeah, this should be a fairly easy one. Unless, of course, bloody hell. Sorcerer, guidance, charisma, all sorts of bits and pieces. I've already got advantage, that's fine, and it's only a difficulty class of 5. Now bear in mind, of course, if I were to get a 1, that would always be a critical fail. But that's another advantage to, well, advantage. In the event you get a 1 and anything else that's not a 1, yeah, the higher thing gets to count. So it's a really good defense against rolling critical failures, because the odds of getting a 1 and a 1 on 2d20s is, would that be 0.25%? Very unlikely anyway. So yeah, just roll the dice. 18 is fine. Add on a whole bunch of benefits right there. Adjust. We are a-okay.
You feel the creature's thoughts stumble against your magic, your will to resist. The monster lies exhausted, defeated. Its eyes, wet orange pearls, radiate malice.
Okay, but it's already tried to, like, psychically attack us twice. Maybe just finish it off nice and quickly before it recovers its strength and tries again. I was thinking of using, like, a dagger or something. But sure, you could stamp on it if you wanted to. So yeah, we've now come through the ship, passed by this area, picked up Astarion, dealt with you. So yeah, I think now we need to head to the northeast. That's the only place left to go. So, right. Back this way, out we go, and a woobly thing. That is the fast travel thing, isn't it? There was one down below at the bottom of the cliffs.
A hand? Anyone?
And okay, we've got ourselves a hand sticking through the fast travel network. So, did you get stuck while fast traveling? Because that's adorable. And who are you? Slap the hand, or alternatively, attune myself to the sigil's magic. And as I've got two things, does that mean this is going to be like, yeah, an advantage roll? No on this occasion. Now that's absolutely fine. We may as well toss in guidance because there's no reason not to. So yeah, that one should be pretty manageable, all things considered. Nice easy 13, lovely. So right, calm down the sigil and whatnot.
Whatever you're doing is working wonders. Now a quick little pull should do the trick. Hello. I'm Gale of Waterdeep. Apologies. I'm usually better at this.
That was a deeply, delightfully nerdy hello. Also, Astarion hates him already. Okay, you know what, Gale? Me and you can be friends. Also, did you just step forward to shake my hand? No one else did that. That's wonderful. So, okay, you're lovely, so I'm going to be nice to you. No need to apologise. Are you okay, good sir?
A bit shocked, but friend, it's a relief and a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Say, but I know you, don't I? In a manner of speaking. You were on the Norse Lloyd as well.
Okay, so don't draw your weapon. He's deeply delightful. So, yes, we'll get back to that in just a second. Did you get stuck fast travelling or something?
I don't know what transpired exactly, but the ship broke into pieces and I suddenly found myself in freefall. As I was plummeting to certain death, I spied a glimmer quite near where I estimated my body to impact with less than savoury propulsion. Recognizing this glimmer to be magical in nature, I reached out to it with a weaving of words and found myself on the other side, as it were. How about you? How did you survive the fall?
Magic parachute, I think. So, yeah, not 100% sure. That may be something we need to look into at some point.
Fair enough. But even so, I have the unfortunate suspicion your survival is still very much in jeopardy. Back on the ship, you too were on the receiving end of a rather unwelcome insertion in the ocular region. Were you not?
I enjoy that dumb gesture he makes. Gale's delightful. So, right. That's true. You seem less freaked out about it than everyone else has been.
The insertee we speak of, this parasite? Are you aware that after a period of excruciating gestation, it will turn us into mind flayers? It's a process known as ceremorphosis, and let me assure you, it is to be avoided. You don't happen to be a cleric by any chance, do you? A doctor? Surgeon? Uncannily adroit with a knitting needle?
I mean, we do have a cleric standing right behind us.
You seem to know enough about our condition to realize it's beyond most clerics' skills.
Most, no doubt, but I find myself hoping to be in the presence of the few. You don't happen to be one of them.
And okay, once again, I do actually have a cleric. She's right there, but possibly she's like the wrong sort of cleric, I'm not sure. But yes, as a bard apparently I could do basic first aid, but not alien parasites.
As we've established, few enough can. It's not exactly a common affliction. We're most certainly going to need a healer, and soon too. How about we lend each other a helping hand once more and look for a healer together?
I do enjoy how Gale just keeps gesticulating constantly during his dialogue. It's great and I love him already. So, right, welcome to the team, good sir.
Most excellent. A parasite shared is a parasite halved. Or something to that effect. Oh, but before you think you're about to embark on a journey with most ill-mannered a man, thank you for pulling me out of that stone. It was an act of foresighted kindness, I assure you. For I have the feeling ample opportunities will present themselves for me to return the favor.
Gale just moved right to the top of my to-be romance list. Okay, me and you, we're gonna get on just fine. And okay, nothing too complicated here. He's a wizard, meaning his job is to spam a very large number of spells. Specifically using his intelligence stat, so that's capped out at 17. Though, yes, perhaps surprisingly, he's also got Constitution 15, so once he levels up, he's probably going to have some decent health on him too. Though yes, fascinatingly, because he's a human, he actually gets some pretty good proficiencies in terms of weapons and armor, so he's not like entirely stuck just standing at the back tossing spells in a dressing gown. But yes, here's the big exciting thing about wizards. Which is, well, one, they can toss spells around a bit more freely, because they've got the ability to restore spell slots to some degree. But also, unlike me, they don't have a certain limited number of spells. Or rather, they do, but they can swap them in and out as much as they want to. So, yeah, right now, he knows Witch Bolt for electric damage, and then follow-up electric damage. Grease, which I just find delightful, because the symbol's just a pig, where he makes the ground all slippery. Sleep, putting people to sleep, would you believe, and a Thunder Wave, which I could have taken, but chose not to, which is, yes, an area effect that can also knock foes back. But if I decided I didn't want him to do any of that, yeah, we can literally just take one of those spells away and insert something else instead. So say, Mage Armor, protects a target from attacks, increasing armor class to 13 plus dexterity. So right, that basically works presumably like in place of armor. Yeah, the target can't be wearing armor, so if you don't have the ability to wear much in the way of armor, then yeah, that might be useful. Beyond that, yeah, he's got some similar abilities to me. In terms of cantrips, Firebolt and Ray of Frost, we've already seen, but also Mage Hand. So we can just, like, summon a hand that can manipulate and interact with things. So, okay, that's a cantrip. You may as well cast it now, my friend. Though, sorry, not enough space to summon your hand, friend. And oh dear, he's only got 1 hit point. Okay, we'll dig into you later, buddy. Right, let's get you up to level 2 as well, because yes, we need you to pick up more health. Beautiful. Together with... oh bloody hell, you need to pick up a subclass, and it turns out wizards have like 10 million subclasses. So necromancy say, if you kill a creature with a spell, you regain a hit points equal to twice the spell slot level used, which is basically going to be 2 hit points for level 1 spells for the time being, because presumably that's all he's got. So, but 3 times if it's a necromancy spell. So yeah, he could just heal himself using magic. But yeah, best as I can tell, this doesn't appear to be affecting, like, the spells he can learn. So there's not actually that much difference between these subclasses just yet. So let's not worry about it too much for now. We can like go back and change this later if we need to. I'm going to stick with, yes, this one that showed up by default, in fact, because that gives me sculpt spells. So yeah, this is like destruction magic in Elder Scrolls. If I start tossing around spells that cause huge amounts of damage, like massive splash spells or whatever, then as a result, allies taken no damage or anything from them. So yeah, I could just toss massive meteorites of death into crowds of me and my enemies, and it won't hurt me. That sounds fun. We'll start with that and work from there. And speaking of which, yes, that means I need... Okay, well that one looks very appropriate immediately. Burning Hands. So yes, a spray of fire that can clearly hit multiple people because it says each a flammable target, and yet that's the same spell group, so we'll have that, lovely. And then yeah, there's a load of spells I've seen before, which is beautiful. Magic missiles are always nice, but... Find familiar. Summon a familiar that takes an animal form of my choosing. Okay, well, obviously we're having that, because the icon is strongly suggesting I can have a cat. Oh, also I just noticed that, yes, apparently Shadowheart also has that spellbook system that wizards have got, so, okay, she's got, like, twice as many spells as I realised she had. It's just, I can't actually use most of them at the same time, so, hang on, what have we got available to us right now? So yeah, her thing is, she's a cleric, but she's already taken her specialisation, which is trickery. That does make me think maybe we shouldn't be trusting her, and her mysterious tragic backstory dodecahedron. Like, yeah, possibly that's supposed to suggest to me she's in some way lying to us. So because she's all trickery based, yeah, she can give other creatures advantage on stealth checks, could be useful for supporting Astarion, then create an illusion that gives advantage to you and your allies. That's pretty good, actually. Now, yeah, she needs to channel her divinity for that, her special cleric abilities. So that's a currency she's got that no one else does. And yeah, she only gets, like, one of those, by the looks of it. So, right, use that, then recharge it with a short rest afterwards. And yeah, she can also turn all undead that can see you. So yeah, if we find ourselves surrounded by undead, could potentially be of use. She's also permanently got Charm to stop someone attacking her, Disguise Self, so right, she can, like, change how she looks, which could potentially be useful down the line. Keep that one in mind. But yeah, also, Giant Piles of Spells. She can have, like, half of these on at any one time. Well, Guiding Bolt, we saw that one on the ship. That one was amazing, so that can stay. Because, yeah, that's tons of damage, and also gives an extra attack roll advantage, which is pretty bloody good. Healing would be nice. You can have Healing Word too, because that's a bonus action. So yeah, you can do something, and then a heal as a bonus. And yeah, that's Inflict Wounds. That was a bloody high damage as well. Up to 30. That's like the most powerful spell we've got in the entire party right now. So I kind of want that to stay. But yeah, what else do we want or not want? And I took the Shield of Faith off, didn't I? And as a result, she's no longer got that protecting her. Should have left that one on, actually, because I already spent the spell slot setting it up, so that's a shame. So, right. Bane. Creatures receive penalties to attack rolls and saving throws. That's pretty good. Or Bless. Gain bonuses to attack rolls and saving throws. That's pretty good, actually. But yeah, that only lasts for 10 turns and 10 turns. It's not, like, indefinite. Command. Command creatures to flee, move closer, freeze, drop to ground, drop its weapon. That sounds pretty good too. Create or destroy water. So create a water-based surface. Could be useful, potentially, because, yeah, then you could, like, freeze that surface and make loads of ice. So that kind of syncs up nicely with the rest of the team. Protection from good and evil. Protect allies or sanctuary. Okay, make it so someone can't be targeted. Feels a bit situational, so... That's actually really tough. Like, there's some really good spells in here in terms of support. I'm going to take Inflict Wounds off so I can have Shield of Faith Bless and Command. Though, honestly, I don't really have the spell slots to do any of this right now. But yeah, I just kind of feel like I want to play with some of those. Right, so looks like the road goes, yeah, round to the north in this direction. Then that's down back where we were, isn't it? Though, I could 100% have just got straight up here, couldn't I? With my bonus to jump, I could have just jumped up here, then up here, and just bypassed the entire ship. So, okay, this game is very good, isn't it? Like, you know, it is genuinely wide open, and you can just do whatever you want, which I find delightful. So, okay. Got a ruin up ahead here. Oh, hang on. Hang on. There's people. One of whom is called Gimblebok, which is a delightful name. Okay.
You'll die a bloody pauper unless you take a few risks.
I feel like they're here to loot the place. And that makes me think, potentially, we can, like, you know, negotiate with them, work alongside them, and potentially we may have to murder them. And if that's the case, then, yeah, here we go. Let's be on the high ground. Okay, if we get up on the high ground, then as a result of that, we'll be able to, yeah, have various high ground advantages, etc., etc. So, how do you do, Warren? Me and you are going to be friends, okay?
You! Not another step, hear me? Boss! Got company up here! What's this then? Trying to creep around us and loot the crypt? Not happening. Or is it the ship you're after? Don't matter either way. It's ours. All of it.
Okay, so I feel like he's trying to intimidate me right now, and that's not a good idea when you're 3 feet tall and named Gimblebok, but okay. Deception and intimidation. Those are the things I'm particularly good at, but intimidation in particular, that I've got advantage in. So, you know what? He was blatantly just trying to intimidate me. I'm going to do the same thing back to him. This should be something I am very bloody good at. So, okay, this only needs a 10, but I can also add in guidance. I've got free advantage of, you know, my character race, so that is A-okay. So yeah, this should be a relatively safe option. Just toss those in. Nice and easy. Beautiful. So yeah, that was actually passed before we even got round to adding all the extras on. So how about you, sir? Just naff off.
Well, in that case, come on, you lot. No point in getting killed. Second worm gets the cheese and all.
Second mouse gets the cheese, no?
Nobody's getting any damn cheese. Now move it.
So okay, as a result of that, though, did he just, like, avoid some sort of trap or something? Oh! There's twisting vines here. Right, there's like a magical plant that could have grabbed someone on the way past. That's delightful. Oh, and if I ever want to check things that have recently happened, right, I've got like a little thingy over here that can tell me precisely what just occurred. So yeah, I just gained a 50 experience for doing that, so I didn't necessarily lose experience for not fighting them. Though do bear in mind, yeah, this does mean I've just lost any loot they were carrying. So avoiding fights isn't necessarily a good idea. And yes, we've got all of these. Honestly, yeah, if you see food, no need to actually pick it up. We could just, like, you know, grab it and then send it straight back to camp, pick it up later, etc., etc. Still, best as I can tell, nothing else going on around here. So yeah, mosey on down, check out the side rooms if we can get in. Doesn't look like it though. Yeah, I think we're just mosey. No, not up. Back down again, please. Back down again. We want to. Everybody stop crowding around the ladder. We're going in to our first dungeon.
What you give a book? Everything all right out there?
Did that person just have a Geordie accent? I swear there's someone from Newcastle on the other side of this door, which is delightful. And, oh, here we flipping go. This is it. This is my moment to shine right here. It's the first performance check of the game. So, yes indeed, it is me, Gimblebok. So okay, apparently doing impressions is kind of counted as performance. Now that's actually potentially rather useful, isn't it? So, this is only 5, which is delightful. And yes, I do actually get advantage, because that's performance, that's fine. And I get guidance as well, so... I feel like we really ought to pass this check, actually. It would be weird if we didn't, under the circumstances. So, yes, this is very much a game where there's going to be lots of times where it's all 50-50 and up to chance whether you succeed or not. But, if you set yourself up right, yeah, there are times when you could specialise really hard in something and do very well pretty easily.
You sound a bit shaken, boss. Hang on while I find the key.
Though, yeah, in theory, I just cheesed my way through, meaning 1, I get an inspiration, and 2, I get some XP, though. Right, apparently me and Astarion have the same origin. We're both charlatans.
Who the hell? You're dead!
Right, you appear to be, yes, all on your own, and we've also taken you by surprise, so you're not doing anything this round. So, okay. Everybody just rush this guy and take him out. Now, are you allowed to do your sneak attack? Says if you've got advantage, you could do it. And I think you have advantage against surprised people, don't you? No, you don't. So, okay, I'm going to need to look into precisely how you do or don't generate advantage in the long run. But don't worry, that's all absolutely fine. We can just use, like, regular attacks against you. There we go, 6 damage. Not bad at all. You could use Flourish, that's a thing you've got as well, to knock him off balance. But, John, you could have done that first to, yes, knock him off balance, because that leads to advantage. So, yeah, if you're off balance, you could presumably follow that up immediately with a sneak attack, which is delightful. But no, instead, just push him towards the rest of the team. Failed miserably, because strength is not really my thing. So, right, keep on keeping on, and now it's my turn. And hilariously, yes, despite it being at level 2, because I've got so many cantrips now, my hotbar's already getting a bit crowded, so I'm going to increase the number of rows, and also rearrange it a bit. There we go, cantrips on the left, and then my actual level 1 spells in the middle, and yeah, the more passive stuff on the right. In fact, yeah, the jump spell should be over there too. Though, let's put you at the top, the Bardic Inspiration, which I can still do. I've got 1 charge of that. So, right, that's a bit better. And yes, you are presumably not wearing... No, you're not wearing conductive armor, so I don't gain advantage against you with my shocking grip or anything. But I can hit you with, yes, my icy spell, which will slow you down a little bit. So, yeah, just getting over there. That's a good, solid amount of damage. And yeah, now he's been slowed down. Meaning when he does get a turn, he won't be able to move as far. Which is good, because we've got him surrounded. So we've kind of got him where we already want him. Speaking of which, yeah. Draw my melee weapon and just run up to him. So if he does try and run, we could just opportunity attack him until he dies. He passes his turn because he is surprised. Lovely. So yeah, just keep on keeping on. Then we just whack him over and over and over again. That's only 55% chance to hit. That's not very good. Could you do better with, like, one of your cantrips, like Sacred Flame? No, that's only 40%. Why? I don't know. Well, take the 50-50 in that case. And good flipping job. Well done. People are doing well on their various rolls right now. Yeah, just pass your turn there. Then it is Gale's turn. He doesn't need to get close or anything. And yes, once again, we could just sort of rearrange your lovely bar here. So, once again, cantrips, spells, and extra out of combat actions. Just toss a basic firebolt, 65%. He burns to death before he even gets an attack. Honestly, we got lucky there. So, like how we're just all standing around very calmly. Like we didn't just burn a man to death. And speaking of which, right, the lad's got a key on him. Then, leather armor. And, a torch. That might be useful for, like, you know, lighting dark spaces or whatnot. And a short sword as well. Does anyone else need a short sword, by the way? Oh, I tell you what we could do, though. Astarion, who's already got a short sword, you could start dual-wielding, my friend. Because, yeah, I'm pretty sure what that means is, yeah, you can now do a second attack with your bonus action. So yeah, you could attack and then attack again. Though the second attack is less powerful because it doesn't gain the damage bonus Astarion gets from dexterity, I think. And speaking of weapon loadouts, yeah, Shadowheart right now has got this mace, which isn't particularly good. It's a 1d6 plus 1 bludgeoning, and it gives her the ability to potentially daze the opponent. And that doesn't seem particularly exciting, to be honest. She could do the same damage with the hand axe we got back on the ship. But that would give her the ability to, yeah, lacerate, causing bleed damage. That strikes me as more interesting, because, hang on, bleeding is, yeah, 2 damage at the start of every turn, and anything else that causes constitution saving throws, they're at a disadvantage, so, yeah, that seems way better. You can have that, lovely. Still, no one else in here for now, so, right, back over to Arya, begin Operation Looting, because that's a giant pile of food. Right, we might be needing that later, and Looter's trunk. We've literally snuck in and stolen their loot out from under them. That's hilarious.
No more prayers. Only dust and silence.
Who are those prayers for? Normally the patron god is Orpheus. Not here.
But okay. There's more going on too. This is like an old chapel, but for some reason we can't tell what god it was to, which does feel a bit weird.
Let's see.
Ancient, indecipherable text covers the plaque.
A dead tongue. Whoever worshipped here must be long gone.
Has anyone got whatever skill would let you translate ancient languages? Like, what skill would that be? Like, it doesn't feel right to say history, because history and linguistics are very, very different things. Okay, now I'm sad there's not a linguistics skill. I'd love it if there was a linguistics skill. Right, grab the cheese, the supply pack, the booze, everything. So, right, this is a good haul already. So, okay, that's the easy bit done. We've talked our way in, we've taken out the guard, we've looted the stuff that was just sitting around in an empty room. But yes, now I suspect things get a bit nastier. Because there's a door here, locked by a lever, so... Okay, plan. Astarion, you, sir, are stealthy. So what we're going to do is just... Oh, hang on. Oh, that's cute. When you creep, the game, like, very clearly indicates to you, like, where light is or isn't a bit more, though. Well, that's still in light, so... I feel like this yellow bit should extend a tiny bit further, but whatever. Now, speaking of which, how about we just turn that off? So now we're in, like, darkness, meaning it's going to be very hard for anyone to detect Astarion, because his whole deal is he's sneaking. So crack open the door, then move away.
Not even sure this is a door.
Okay. How many people are in this room? Because it looks like just one. And you are moting... Oh, well, this is just flipping perfect right here. You walk over there. I could get a huge advantage strike on you immediately. So, like, you know, a giant sneak attack followed up straight away by a, yeah, second offhand attack. And then you go down in no time whatsoever. And you're an archer, so you don't want to be in close quarters combat. I don't think there's anyone else in here, so... Right. Everybody else, like, go into crouch mode and be... sort of nearby, so you can also go and assist when the time is right. We're going to sneak in, and we're going to assassinate that person. It's going to be great. Shadowheart, you may be a tiny bit not in the right spot there. Good. Good. So yeah, I'm going to wait for her to go over there, then come back. When she steps into this side area, we go in, and we knacker her. Because she's just doing a loop around this area, isn't she? So as soon as her red vision cone goes past the door, there we go, begin moving in that direction. And once we get nice and close, freeze time with turn-based mode. So now what we've got is, yes, sneak attack melee with advantage, so this should hit, and Beautiful. Right there. So a huge amount of damage, and we can follow it up with a second attack too. So if we're lucky, we could finish her off right now. And okay, that was a critical hit, but also didn't actually, like, do that much damage. So was that a low damage roll, but a 20 accuracy roll? So it doubled the low damage roll? I don't know. But okay, that's all you can do for the time being. That's fine. So end your turn, but actually, hang on. Wait, how does time work right now? Because there is now a turn-based fight involving Astarion and this archer. So she's now never going to move.
Better make my next
But my people out here are still in real time, meaning they can functionally move infinitely, because they've not joined the fight yet. So okay, I need to look into precisely how time works when parties split apart here, because it feels weird that I've frozen time in this bit of the world, but the rest of my party could just get on with their lives and not have to worry about any of the rest of that. So okay, may as well just shoot you in the back. There is advantage, so that's fine. Down you go. Beautiful. So okay,
I've got a long road
that
ahead.
was a good little ambush. That's how you take apart isolated targets. And she's got a trap disarm toolkit on her, which strongly suggests there's traps coming up. Right, that works pretty well, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to turn off all the lights in this room before we move any further forward or open any more doors. Alright, that's going to be our approach. Darkness. Darkness is good if we're the ones who want to do the ambush. And yeah, she was looking at this door.
No lock, no handle. How does it open?
When you say there's no lock, I'm gonna be honest, Astarion, I'm beginning to doubt your expertise as a flipping locksmith specialist. I'm also pretty sure I just heard a noise coming from that door. So, right. Drop down. Crack you open at first. So, this may be, yeah, the room they've set up as their base of operation, given there's what looks like not ancient beds here and whatnot.
Yes. Still nothing.
Oh! Well, that's a really cute touch. I just asked Astarion to, yes, examine what turned out to be a mirror. And he said, nothing. Just in case you didn't guess, from the fangs he blatantly had earlier. Yes, the one sort of spoiler I do know about this game is Astarion's a vampire. That's it, I know nothing else. What's the deal with Shadowheart's tragic backstory dodecahedron? No cooking clue. Is Lae'zel actually 300 years old? No idea. But yes, the one thing I do know is this chappie's a vampire. Though it's kind of nice he gives it away if you just look at a mirror early. Oh, hang on. Hang on. I think there may have been a trap. Possibly I just failed a perception check and thus didn't detect there was a trap guarding this here wardrobe and whatnot. So I might need to at some point respec someone to be a little bit more, you know, perceptive so we can actually see traps. Under the circumstances, I'm just going to drink a potion because I definitely heard voices coming from this door over here. So yeah, let's just scout that out for a second. All of you guys just get in here and hide in this room. Astarion, you meanwhile are on, yeah, door opening and scouting duties. So crack that open and then move away.
Well, at least there's no skeletons this time.
Archer. Mage, I think. Possibly, I don't know what you are. Hang on, I might be able to check. Also an archer. 2 archers, a lad with a big old stick, and I think I saw someone with a staff at the rear. 4 people. Not nothing. So okay, we got a proper fight on our hands here. And probably the scariest of the lot, there's a level 2 human here. I'm guessing a barbarian with 32 cocking hit points. So twice the health that we've got. The archers, meanwhile, nowhere near as scary. So okay, we've done a good job scouting out this here room. Question is, how do we approach this? It might be better to just try and, like, lure them out of this room onto the stairs where we can set up traps and whatnot. Speaking of which, there's an oil barrel right here. Right. How about we just, like, grab that right now. You can pick that up. That's A-okay. And move that to right by the door. So yeah, just to move that forward. So it's like right in the door, but maybe not 100% blocking it. Now move away. They're suspicious of that. They're not that suspicious of that. So yeah, that might work very nicely. Sneak attack you. Begin the attack with a big old surprise. Then fall back. When they come through the door, we toss a firebolt at the oil barrel and explode it. So okay, I've spread everyone out so that, yeah, we can get all sorts of extra shots in from the rear, etc., etc. Activate sneak attack against that guy. Oh, flippin' yeah. Immediately dead. Beautiful. So, right, one of their team is dead immediately, which I find deeply delightful. But the fight has started. The fact there's a corpse on the ground means, yeah, everyone else has detected Astarion. But that's fine, because you can, yeah, use your cunning action dash to get back into cover. So all I want you to do is, yeah, just run over to... Actually, you know what? Where would be the right spot? Over here would probably be fine, actually. Yeah, it would be worthwhile having two people hiding over here, ready to jump out. So, you just go all the way back over here, and no one else actually has their turn just yet. But when they run over here to try and get to Astarion, these two could pop out and ambush them with a flank attack. So, okay, Mage at the rear is doing mage armor, understandably. I think she was doing that on herself, actually. Then she started moving forward. You're dashing. Beautiful. And you look, yes, very nearby to that explosive barrel. In fact, oh, guys, you could be in a lot of cocky trouble now. So, right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to sneak in Gale right now, and he's about to firebolt that oil barrel that you idiots are standing right next to. Okay, please tell me you can do this. It would be cocky hilarious. Oh, Gale. You magnificent, sexy bastard. Right! Activate explosions! I think we could safely say Gale has successfully joined the fight. So you're at half health. You've taken a fair whack of damage, and also you're on fire. Though Gale is now, yes, kind of stuck a little bit exposed. So he might run into trouble in a second. But honestly, I think that's cooking worth it. That's a fine. Especially given, yeah, we do potentially have a shot at this guy at the rear. So what I'm going to say we should do is, yeah, just move a little bit further forward. Just a little bit, mind. Could we hit him with... wait. What was my special ability? Yes! Slow down the enemy. Alright, that is the good stuff. 65% chance to hit, and that will slow him down. And he's a melee fighter. He wants to get up to me, so... well, you can't hit everything. And then, yeah, probably the best thing we could do at this point is activate my dash. Yeah, so just do that. And then use that to get back into cover. Then we can pop out and keep shooting at him later. The problem we've got is, yeah, these guys can now potentially run forward and start firing at Gale. He is very exposed. So I'm going to leave my other two people hidden in secret for the time being. So you have to dash. So right, you can't do an action because you're dashing. That's fine. And do you just walk straight into the fire? Or do you, like, avoid the fire? You're dashing too. Okay, so no one's attacking. Apart from you, you are... oh! You just tossed something at Gale. Then he set his weapon on fire. That's concerning in a way. So, okay. What we could do now is... hang on. Hang on. This is going to work brilliantly. I'm genuinely proud of this right now. Gosh darn it. I'll probably be detected at the point where I step outside. That is a bit of a shame. In theory, though, if I just, like, you know, step over... No, Shadowheart, don't follow me. Just me, for the time being. Separate you out. Head over here. Activate a shot. You could get advantage. Beautiful. So, yeah, do it. He's the most dangerous person on the field. Oh, flippin' yeah. Crit, 9 damage. Love it. But that means your turn this round is already done. Officially. We could do precisely the same thing with Shadowheart, which would be hilarious. But I think we're actually okay. I'm going to hold off for now, because, yeah, go over to the person whose turn it actually is, which is our good friend Gale, because Gale has got burning hands. Meaning Gale can basically, yes, hit both of these people right now. That's got to be the right option. So, oh yeah, oh flippin' yeah, activate burning, oh, that'll cock and do. So, right, you're on 3 health, but you're on fire. How much damage do you take from fire? Oh, it's 50-50 if the fire's going to kill him or not. And you, sadly, you can't die from fire. That's a shame. Right, I think you can, yeah, jump further than you can run. So probably the best thing you can do at this point is, yeah, just get over here, out the way. And then again, actually, if you just get over to here, Shadowheart. This could be the moment you come in and become the next biggest ultimate badass. Because you have got an 80% chance of hitting this guy and finishing him off. So, there we go. Fire on you. Down goes the Barbarian. He was by far the most dangerous. I feel much better now that he's dead. So, okay. You can't do anything anymore. You're out of actions. Astarion, though, you're ready to start attacking again, which is beautiful. So, just do a regular shot. 4 damage. Now you definitely die to fire, which is hilarious. So, yeah, honestly, just move. So, yeah, those bonus actions, those are sexy. I like those. So, right, next, over to you. You're the only person who's... Oh! Okay. Gale just got hit with Ice Knife. Now he's standing on, yeah, ice. If I just set fire to this ice, it becomes water and I can just move away. Kind of love this game. This game's excellent. Can we just close this door, by the way? Would that be acceptable? Okay, so everyone's now safe in here because I've shut the door, which is hilarious. So, right, everyone else just hang out here. The fire wears off. She dashes forward, and now we just all charge out and knacker her, because she's now got nothing she can do. And also, hang on, no, this is going to work beautifully. Hide. Excellent. Now she's facing away from me. We just move over to here and get a sneak attack ranged right in the back. So, you know what? That was cocking sexy. Then we just open the door and blast her in the face with anything we've got available. So, just toss a fireball at you. Down you go. You know what? I think that went pretty bloody well. And okay. On the loot front, that giant weapon the Barbarian had... Okay, that's a 2-handed weapon, so Shadowheart could use it, but she has to give up 2 AC to do so. I think I'm willing to do that, because I just feel like, yes, we could do with a little bit more hitting power on the team. Which also means, deeply weirdly, I can give the shield to Gale, because as a human, he's just got the ability to use shields. Feels weird giving Gale a shield, but... I mean, it's 2 AC for free, so I see no reason not to. Still, into, yes, this area proper, including a Barton, who we killed straight away. Special poison for poisoning and making enemies fall asleep. Lovely. And also, right, a Molotov cocktail, but like fantasy style. Also, given he's not really, like, attacking with his staff or anything, decided to give Gale the torch, so we can actually see what's going on a bit better while we're exploring, which I find delightful. Also, everyone's dead now. We just turned the lights on. That's lovely too. So, okay. Chapel records right here at the front. Obituaries. So, 3 of them. Fever, internal rot, drowning. Now, Saloon. That's like a god, because that was just brought up related to a sect earlier. So, okay. Possibly this was a chapel for, like, multiple gods. Like a whole pantheon. Or something. Don't know if that's how it works, but it might be how it works. Also, nice chest at the back here, though.
That's curious.
Okay. Perception checks over here, leading to a lever. I'm guessing that just opened that door, right? Though, hang on, just check the other chest first. I do like that you can just turn on all the lights. That's delightful. Also, John, stop picking up everything. You don't need to pick up literally everything. So, right, that opens the only door that was closed previously, getting us access to a brand new area. Lovely. Officially being the dank crypt. Okay. What we do have, though, is, yes, nicely illuminated by Gale's lovely torch here. Opulent chest. So, okay, now we're getting into the good stuff here. Just light everything up as we're going through. No reason not to. Make it nice and light. So, you know, some nice chalices. That's got to be worth something, bare minimum. And yeah, just check left alt occasionally because, there we go. Might have missed you at the back over here. And also, there's a book here, which may or may not be relevant, but... Okay, this is like, you know, the Elder Scrolls, where there are just 10 million books you can choose to read or not as you go around. Got it. And in the chest, a couple more scrolls. So, right, protection against, yes, aberrations, celestials, elementals, various other monstrosities. Now, Gale, if I send those over to you... Here we go. This is one trick that, yes, I think wizards and only wizards get access to. They can take scrolls and convert them into permanent reusable spells. So, there we go. Pay 50 gold. I've now got a brand new spell and... okay, presumably that means wizards could just gather a ridiculous number of spells they could cast. Still, I would say, having put together a team and won our first big fight as well, how about we call it a punt there? But next time... Right, it would appear to me that we have now infiltrated a big old crypt filled with treasure chests and whatnot. So, okay, first order of business next episode, we're gonna loot this place. On top of that, we still need to find Lae'zel, and once we're done with that business, I reckon it might finally be time to, yes, go to camp and maybe get to know my new companions just a little bit better. So hopefully you're looking forward to that. But in the meantime, I've been John, this has been Many a True Nerds, and this has been the wonderful Baldur's Gate 3. Thank you very much, and goodbye. So okay, I've been outwitted by a butterfly and beaten up by a fish.
Stop right there, criminal scum!
I didn't steal anything! I'm sorry, I touched the shoes while I was shoe shopping! Okay, I feel like I may have just, walked in on something. What about this person? Can we talk to this person?